Adebayo Shittu reacts as his name was not listed among members of the APC campaign council. According to a news that was published by the Punch newspaper online this morning, it was reported that following weeks of anxiety and serial postponement of, the Presidential Campaign Council's list of the APC, the list has been released with several notable names of the party chieftains missing, as this list was released by James Falake, who happens to be the Presidential Campaign Council's secretary. It was made known that Adebayo Shittu, who is a strong supporter of Tinubu, who is also the head of Tinubu-Shettima Coalition for Good Governance, has reacted after his name was not included among the 422 names constituting the Presidential Campaign Council of the APC. Shittu, responding to this, told Punch's correspondent that why he thinks people often regard him as an outsider was because it was never a member of Alliance for Democracy Action Congress or Action Congress of Nigeria. He said, "It has not been on record that I have a fight with Tinubu, even though critics who are jealous of my current achievements in the struggle to ensure success for him, out of pettiness and rivalry, have been trying to paint me black and blackmail me with the slogan of I am one of Tinubu's enemies." Okay, so again, this depends on Nigerians and what we actually choose to focus on, because given the fact that campaigns actually are meant to start, is close to the end of the month, so they're sort of behind. But personally, not even in general actually, we don't know who this individual is. He's a chieftain, yes, and he's, part of the APC, and I guess, being expectant to be on the list, is disappointed that he's not in the list, but what can we do? That seems like more of a personal problem. I think how would you try to promote Tinubu as a presidential candidate? I think it's a very hard job, and I just think you should not even start it. How can you try to promote Tinubu as, how can you justify it? Because if anything, it's like you're trying to justify why someone who has the record of Tinubu, so someone has proven consistently to be very absent, or I guess even entitled. This man, Tinubu, has come to tell you Nigerians that he believes it is his turn to be president. So this is not a thing of competition, or we know, yes, Tinubu, godfather, in the political space, he makes the moves, right? But you are fighting to be on a campaign council that is promoting Tinubu. That is the hardest job to do. It's not the hardest job to do to those who really don't care about Nigeria, who want to get their money, and who, I guess, attach sentiments to their futures because Tinubu has helped you in the past, and now he deserves to be president. But really, this is just so irrelevant to the cause, because focusing on somebody that wants to be a campaign council so bad, you have 422 people on a campaign council. It's safe to say they're in safe hands. It's safe to say, they've got the capacity and what they need to actually, go through the campaigns and hopefully make Tinubu president. But really, it's a hard job, and so why he's even asking or demanding that he be part of it, it's like Nigerians do not care. This is the least of our problems. You are disappointed you're not in a campaign council. We are just gonna move because you can't stop the progression of other things that, do deserve, divided attention. Next action, please. Talkative General of Nigeria, someone says. That is to tell him that the APC do not recognize him as a member, and the best thing for him to do is quit the party. Well, even if he quits and defects, it doesn't really make a difference. The character trait has been shown. Anyways, obviously him him being blackmailed or labeled as one who is a fighter or enemy of Tinubu, if you declare to be against Tinubu, you're not necessarily doing yourself any favor in terms of how you're going to be perceived. Okay. Tinubu is a useless and dumb older man. Wow. Well, he talks too much, and that is why his name is not in the list. He will be given another position, do not worry. It will not be surprising. We're going to hear the next day that he's part of the PDP. Same party, same everything. It's not going to be surprising. And he's known to talk a lot. So to be honest, it's like, well, sad for you, sir, but it just is what it is. And Nigerians will not spend their time worrying about why you're not in the list. You're not in a list to promote somebody like Tinubu. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he's not as relevant or has an influence as, other celebrities or other, big society names that support Tinubu. So I guess it's like, well, he supports Tinubu, well, what can we do about it? But then you also have those with the followers, you have those with the influence also supporting Tinubu. So what can we say about that? Because really, the impact they would have would be 10 times greater than if this individual was in the campaign list or in the campaign council. So it doesn't really make any difference. It just looks like he's sad that his name is not associated with that. And he really gives signs of someone who would defect the next day if things don't go his way. Who are you, by the way? You don't even have any political value. Why would they put his name on the list? His political stimulus is dead on arrival before 2023. I mean, let us be honest. If you're fighting to be on a campaign council that has over 100 people, 422 in fact, I mean, how do you want to hold your relevance? It's a bit strange. And he also admitted himself that there are rumors or also statements of him, not statements, but rumors, that's the right word to use, of him being an enemy of Tinubu. So I don't understand why, if you know that, and that has been said about you before in the public eye, so you cannot be surprised. You just cannot be surprised that you'd be treated like that. And again, at the end of the day, you might not like Tinubu, but he's been in the game for very much, a long time. He knows Nigerians for sure. So whilst some people may think, wait, what? Tinubu, really? Your presidential candidate? You will find that people are voting for him and still vouching for him. So what do you say then? They're not blind. They are in the country too. They see what is happening. But they have decided to choose sentiment over facts and competence because, he helped Lagos State. And by the way, the argument that Tinubu built Lagos State should be eradicated because the location of Lagos being that place. I mean, Lagos was the capital at some point. So you can't expect that, okay, fine, the capital of a country would not have, more intense, business transactions or business ventures in everything, in all industries. And even the way it looked, like Lagos has been that place. Lagos was a port. Lagos, even in the past, I mean, slaves were traded. I mean, they'd be taken from different parts of the country and brought to Lagos. So when it comes to Lagos, and its strong economy, you can't tying it to Tinubu only, I think, is an insult to past governors. And to be honest, just Yorubas in general, because you can say they do own Lagos. Well, put what you think about this in the comment section below and do not forget to like and subscribe.